Platinum Grand Finals of the GNL Cup. And we're going to settle game one on Concealed Hill. In the top right, NingZiyun, a new player here in GNL, has not played before in Gym League, but has been watching some of the casts, some of the games on Twitch. Liked what he saw and wanted to test his mettle against GNL's finest. The Platinum Cup. Grand Finals here. And the bottom left, we have sickboyyy returning. We saw him earlier today, and now he's back. And he's climbed his way back into the Grand Finals. I believe it is a rule in this cup, Kaizil. You have to declare your random race. So it was done preemptively on purpose per the rules. And that might be see, I don't see random played too often in high level play, so I don't know what the standard is there. It might be the standard. That might be the standard behavior for random race in Grand Finals. And Acolyte gonna go get some scouting done on sickboyyy here, see what to expect. He will soon find out it is a Farseer with potential headhunters to back it up. Does see the Farseer. It is scouted. Farseer on the way. Gets some early harassment done to the Orc player.
A player's forces are under attack.
Alright. And Ning going to the easier green turtle camp. Right adjacent to the base. And is going to get visited by the Farseer and his wolf army right now. It's going to be quite inconvenient timing for the Death Knight here, as the Death Knight does suffer some right clicks from the Farseer here, and the wolves are also right clicked onto the Death Knight. Now in the battle of the summoned units, who is going to win? It looks like the wolves are going to come out on top as one skeleton warrior does fall, and soon the next. Now all the summons for the undead player are gone, but there are plenty of corpses back at the graveyard to summon some more. Death Knight being pressured yet again by the Farseer. Farseer does not want to leave, does not want to let this pressure off. Now has two headhunters to help out with the press here. Farseer is getting back into position to be able to handle any sort of firepower coming from the Crypt Fiends. Another rod purchase from the Death Knight, needing all the help he can get on the front line. And some additional headhunter support coming in for the Orc player. And unfortunately, a spare Acolyte will pay with its life. Meanwhile, Ning opting to go for the yellow camp. That's a little easier of the yellow camp. It's going to take the item. I believe it was a ring. And unfortunately, he's going to have the Farseer right in his face again as sickboyyy not letting the pressure off. Keeping the pressure on, not allowing the undead player to get any sort of momentum in terms of hero levels, creep routes, items, anything. Wants to stay right in the undead's face the whole early game. Continuing the pressure. Only losing a wolf or two and resummoned, not to feed any XP. to the undead player, as the Death Knight must retreat into the back of the base. The Rubian Tower is going to start going to work onto the summoned units, but it's not going to be enough, and a coil is used to try to get some sort of XP value out of this engagement here. As the Farseer just keeps chipping away at the Skeleton Warriors, one Skelly at a time.
A player's forces are under attack.
And again, the Farseer does not want to waver. Just wants to stick around, keep the pressure on. Meanwhile, back at home base, Tier 2 is online, going to Tier 3 immediately. Shadowhunter going to come join the army. Jump into the fray. Death Knight wants to finish off this orange camp that he was unfortunately not able to finish off before, due to the constant pressure of the Farseer.
A player's forces are under attack.
And Sickboyyy going to go take down the merchant camp. I believe he got some sentry wards for his troubles at one of these camps. I don't know. It was probably this one. Doesn't look like any other camps were crept on their side of the map. And now Ning finally getting some sort of, like, army here. It was really, really tough early game. With the raw amount of headhunters here. And now, unfortunately, going to cross paths again. This time you're going to be greeted with some hex capabilities of the Shadowhunter. Those hexes last so long, as one fiend is inevitably going to fall due to the just the movement speed decrease of that hex. Easily able to be destroyed by the Headhunter army. But the food counts are relatively even here. Going to Tier 3 as well, our undead player. Lich almost out. Going to try to even the score with the double hero composition of our Orc player here, opting for Shadowhunter Farseer. And the Lich is now online. Tier 3 not quite ready. Orb of Corruption still offline at the moment, but the Lich is going to buy some items to bring down just a Rod of Necromancy at the moment. And a potential interception of this statue. That would be a nice pick-off from Sickboyyy if he could snipe that statue. With no healing regen and mana regen, the undead army is quite weak. Tier 3 almost online for our Orc player, as Insnare coming out with some Raider support closely to follow.
A player's forces are under attack.
Alright, Raiders in compromised position possibly here as Ning pulls the ripcord and gets out of there. Wants to TP back home, get into better position. Now here we are, Lich now able to finally buy the orb. The orb certainly going to help out quite a bit with any sort of focus fire of the undead army. We have a decent amount of fiends, but keep in mind the orc does have quite a few headhunters that are soon to be upgraded into berserkers. Also some raiders to get some lockdown on those statues. Invaluable kills. If you can get lockdowns on those statues and get them killed, puts you at a huge advantage. Also, some nice sentry ward placement, able to see any direction that Ning is going to leave his base. Lich does have the orb. Orb is online and going to take down the natural camp. Meanwhile, Sickboyyy opting to go for the red camp. Wants the item from the Drake. And wants control of this healing fountain. Shadowhunter getting to level 2 and is going to opt in for Healing Wave. Healing Wave Hex. Go for sustainability and lockdown. Belt of Giant Strength, not quite the item you're looking for there, but will sell for good value. Has good resell value. And one statue online, gonna definitely look to get another statue and Destroyer form as well. Destroyers are gonna be pretty tricky, but you do need to potentially think about devouring any sort of bloodlust that could be coming, although none is on the way, but maybe gonna be able to devour some Hex.
Players' forces are
those hexes are pretty deadly, and wolves as well. Outside of that, not too much to devour. As Ning is going to go for the red camp here, try to take down this Ogre Lord before he gets met with the army of sickboyyy. And a Medallion of Courage going to the Death Knight. Pretty good item here. +5 strength and intellect. Both stats the Death Knight is happy to have. Third hero. We're going to have some black arrows here. I'm going to go scout out this expo. Make sure nothing's happening here. Meanwhile, the Knoll camp is available as the creeping camps are limited. Not much left on the map to creep. We are hitting the 10-minute mark, so both players creeping pretty efficiently right now. Got a couple orange camps to the left side, to the west side of the map, and down south we do have some greens and the natural expo of sickboyyy. So still quite a few left to do, although the options are
a player's forces are under attack,
becoming fewer and far between. Tauren Chieftain working to get up to level 2 and would love to have that level 3 for that level 2 War Stomp. Get some really nice lockdown on the back line of those fiends. Lich now getting deadlier and deadlier and got the Medallion of Courage passed to it to get nice +5 attack damage. Giving it +10 overall with the Orb of Corruption. This Lich is going to start looking really deadly, especially maybe a Claws of Attack, if any of those drop or be able to be purchased. And sickboyyy potentially coming on down. Smells blood in the water of Concealed Hill. And Ning could find himself in a compromised position if he doesn't reposition quickly and get those statues out of harm's way of the wolves. The wolves going to town and will be ensnared. Well, a nice stomp from the Tauren Chieftain on the front line of Ning's army. Dark Ranger also got stomped. That was a vicious stomp right there. Almost the entire army of Ning is stunned there. One statue may fall right now, and it will be morphed into Destroyer form and will get coiled immediately by Ning. Nice play there. Fiends are in a compromised position. Tauren Chieftain going to work on them. Headhunters firing spears any direction they can to start getting some kills and lock down some kills. 55 food for Ning, 44 food for sickboyyy. Sickboyyy making some progress here into the battle, trying to whittle down and get some critical kills. Chain Lightning almost puts the Death Knight out of its misery, but survives with 133 health as the Invuln Pot is popped. Lich going to town on to the Headhunters. -5 armor of each attack of the Lich is so strong, and the Lich falls through the Chain Lightning from the Farseer, and a nice kill snipe from sickboyyy. Certainly turned the game around right there with just one Chain Lightning. Now some A-bombs coming out to help with the front line here. Certainly something that Ning needs. A little extra front line to help deal with the Tauren Chieftain. Help deal with this constant throughput, DPS throughput of the backline. So this will be a tricky situation as one fiend is getting digested by the Kodo Beast here. So Berserkers have 2 upgrades right now, 2 attack upgrade. Sitting pretty, gonna have a quite potent DPS output. All the red camps have been crept. We only have a couple yellow camps left, orange camps. One of them is this laboratory, and going to opt to take it down right now. Will this be enough to get level 3 Tauren Chieftain? I don't believe so when all these heroes are soaking the XP. We have some destroyers in the sky now. Hopefully going to be able to devour some of those wolves. Maybe devour some of those hexes with some well-timed devour magic. But 49 food to 47 food. We have a relatively even army size here in terms of food count. But the Orc army certainly does have a lot of DPS backing it up with all those Headhunters now turned Berserker with 2 damage upgrades. And 1-1 for the Fiends of Ning. Ning now deciding now's the time to engage, getting some Devour onto those Wolves. Silence onto the Tauren Chieftain. No War Stomps available. Focus fire now on the Tauren Chieftain. Invuln Pot is popped. Backing up into better position here. Tauren Chieftain does get a War Stomp off. Pretty nice. Gets the Fiend who does burrow just in time. Fiend getting away with its life with 72 health. Getting in a better position now. Ning needs to back up, potentially get that Lich into better position as sickboyyy is moving up and progressing forward. getting heal wave off, and more wolves to help out with the attack here. Hex onto the Death Knight. Death Knight also ensnared. Death Knight is going to fall due to the Torrent Cheat. The GG is called. sickboyyy takes game 1 on Concealed Hill. All right, and a great game there. sickboyyy taking it 1-0 so far, but we do go to game 2 right away in the Platinum Finals. Just awaiting the game name right now, and we will jump right in. All right, what'd you all think of that, huh? That was quite a game. Maybe it's the same game name. It is. All right. Looks like we'll be settling this game 2 on Northern Isles. Very nice. Very nice indeed. sickboyyy and Ning are in the lobby. They are ready, picking out the best server for this matchup. Try to minimize the ping for both players here. We're about to get underway. Game 2. All right, and just got to update a couple things here. Get ready for this next game, and thank you so much for the follow, Hondir. Hope you enjoyed Game 2 of the Platinum Cup Finals. Game 1 was very close, back and forth the whole game. A nice early game from sickboyyy, and then Ning felt like he was gaining momentum into the early game. But then at the end of the day, sickboyyy had what it takes. I'm a panda, of course. Anytime. It's always fun to cast these games. You guys are all really great up-and-coming players, and love to see you all progressing as I get to watch it game by game. So anytime I can cast some banger matchups in the GNL, I'd love to do it. And just waiting for our opponents to get ready here. And here we go. Game 2. sickboyyy versus NingZiyun on Northern Isles. Oh, is there a second best of 3? Is there like two, is there like two grand finals? I thought there was only one grand final. I mean, you just let me know. We'll cast whatever needs to be casted. We'll take it from there. You guys just let me know what games are next. I know gold finals are next after the Platinum Cup, so looking forward to that. Everyone can lose once, so it's double limb the whole way through. Okay. Sure. And here we are. Ning getting human this time. Interesting to see how sickboyyy will pivot. Opting for the Farseer. Not too much of a strategy divergence here. Looking like we're going to move on along with Farseer Headhunters again. No surprise there. And I'll update War 3 Booster. That's what I wanted to do. As sickboyyy is up 1-0. Best of 3. Yeah, I was under the impression that grand finals are it. Like once you hit the grand final, it's over. But I mean, if there's more games to cast, that's great. Love to see some more Warcraft. All right, Archmage on the way with the Footman. Footman Scout also. Footy trying to get any information that it can. Passes the Farseer,
Player's
passes the
forces are under
Wolves.
attack.
Now Ning knows what's coming, although I think we all knew what was coming. We know sickboyyy loves that Farseer Headhunter. Trying to take this green camp down quickly before he gets interrupted by the Farseer. We'll be able to do just that. And just able to get it without getting the creep sniped. As the Farseer is now here, Wolves going to town on the footy and the Archmage. Right clicks down onto the armies. One Wolf being pulled back. As the dance begins, and one Wolf does fall, granting some more XP to the Archmage. Injured footy being pulled back as the Wolves are resummoned. And NingZiyun with some damaged footies. Unfortunately loses one there, and the injured Headhunter also being pulled back just on time. As the footies are going to chase it down. Meanwhile, the Wolves and the Farseer are deciding to chase down the Archmage, and we are split.
A player's forces
Both
are under
armies
attack.
decide to split, and then Militia creeping the top camp here. Very nice. Touch by NingZiyun. Gonna pull out, though. Not liking the position of where this Farseer is coming. Gonna get those Militia back to work. Archmage taking quite a bit of damage here from sickboyyy. And now the Archmage in a compromised position for sure. Being chased down by these Wolves, being right-clicked by the Farseer, down to 50% health. Meanwhile, putting some damage on these Headhunters. The Footmen trying to get any sort of value it can. As more Footmen are now in position to deal damage to these Headhunters. Footmen deal a lot of damage to Headhunters if you can get to them. That's the tricky part of Orc versus Human, is can the footies actually get to the Farseer, get to the Headhunters, without them constantly kiting, and the nice deny from sickboyyy there on the Headhunter, denying any experience. Archmage trying to get some right clicks in on these Headhunters. A couple slashes from the footies. This Headhunter is falling quickly, taking quite a bit of damage. And will the Archmage be able to get a couple more stutter steps and right clicks onto it? Probably not. Headhunter's so fast, able to run away. Meanwhile, this footy run away. So a lot of good unit control here from both players, able to move those injured units back to their respective bases. Not getting no gimmies right now for either player. As this one Headhunter is stuck and will die to the Footman. Nice little surround there using the creep camp and the trees. And maybe we'll be denied by the Farseer. Not in time, though. So two Headhunters fell to the nice surround by the Footman here. That's going to pay off in the short term for sure. But one Footman also falls. So 2-to-1 exchange down here at the creep camp due to the nice surround here.
A player's forces are under attack.
And per usual, constant harassment from the Orc player, putting pressure on the Footman. Archmage retreating back home. Gonna get that Arcane Sanctum up, try to get a scroll of regen and get some of those units healed back up to full. Meanwhile, gonna take down this top green camp. Farseer opting to go finish off the row of green camps down here. Getting that nice level 2 Chain Lightning gonna help out quite a bit against this weakened Footman army. As the Mountain King is online, beating the tech of the Orc army. So nice tech timing here from NingZiyun. This Mountain King is online, soaked up a little bit of that XP. Bought the scroll of regen, bought the clarity. Gonna pop the scroll of regen right here, get those footies and Archmage healed back up to full, and continue on creeping. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain is now in play online, looking to get level 3 for itself. Check it back on these macros here. Spirit Lodge just about online. Maybe going to opt in for some Shaman play here. Some grunts to beef up the front line here. Human player going for the Sanctum. Maybe Rifle Caster. But first, some Dispel coming for some Priests and some Rifles online as well. Nice Talisman of Evasion for that Mountain King. He's going to really like that. Be able to avoid some of those attacks. And able to fully soak all the XP on that Mountain King there. Almost level 2. Probably didn't soak all of it. And Archmage going to pull this creep camp back, wasting little time here as the Torrent Chieftain also down at the bottom, soaking up this camp for itself as well. Farseer doing what it can to be a nuisance and might get surrounded for its efforts, but no, Ning does pull back and is now going to have to deal with a couple wolves for his troubles. Some rifles getting right-clicked by the wolves, but both wolves will fall. And the Farseer, oh, definitely got Storm Bolted before the cloak was able to be in effect. And unfortunately for Ning, the cloak did complete its invisibility cast before any sort of surround or lockdown was able to be accomplished. With that, the MK will get level 2 from this creep camp. But Torrent Chieftain also well underway to level 3. Both secondary heroes on the race to level 3. Who's going to get it first? Who's going to get that power creep? King soaking all the XP here at this camp. Really wants to get that level 2 clap. Looks like no skill has been picked for level 2 yet. So maybe waiting to see how sickboyyy transitions before the Mountain King picks his second spell. If you think about it, no need for it yet because you're not going to use it while creeping, but a nice war stomp on the back line of the human army here. One rifle potentially going to fall because of it. Thunderclap was taken by the MK, and now a nice juicy stun onto the back line of the army, the human army again. Nice dispel on the lightning shield there, making sure the Torrent Chieftain doesn't electrify the back army with some war stomps. Another potential loss for the human player. A nice little thunderclap there from the Mountain King, able to slow down the impeding army of sickboyyy with a nice solid 44 food army, able to back off safely. And now Torrent Chieftain very close to level 3. Both secondary heroes, MK and the Torrent Chieftain, very close to level 3, and gonna try to get this grunt snipe. Try to get some value out of this kiting here, out of this poke. And a nice poke from the human player, able to take down that grunt. That's a big deal. Any grunt kill you can get, 3 food, 205 gold. It all adds up as footies do start falling. Wolves are now out online. No dispels available to take it down. One dispel is now done. And the grunt also falling close, but the Mountain King able to pop its invulnerability pot just in time is granted level 3. And it will take Thunderclap level 2. So the Mountain King able to get to that critical level 3 as the human player is able to defend against the Headhunter Grunt Shaman army. As bestiaries are now coming online. Potentially get some raiders for lockdown or Kodos. Checking out on the macros here. We still have some priests coming. Want to get those dispels rolling for the wolves. Back here, bestiary, maybe for some lockdown. Shaman going to be able to purge those water elementals and lightning shield the Torrent Chieftain. One solid stomp from the Torrent Chieftain on that back line of casters is really going to wreak havoc with the lightning shield. That is for sure. Right, Torrent Chieftain continuing to go to work, trying to get level 3 for the Farseer now. And what will he opt for? Chain Lightning or Feral Spirit? And he goes for the level 2 Chain Lightning. Probably a good idea with all the dispel capabilities of the priests in the human army. Gonna go buy some items at the shop now. Scroll of Healing purchased. No TP on the human player, but the MK is very... Oh, yep, never mind. TP on the MK, and a Scroll of Retraining going for Blizzard. So a nice retraining. Seeing the Shaman taking care of the Water Elementals is now going to start zoning out the backline. The Torrent Chieftain with a nice stop and a beautiful Thunderclap on the backline of the Orc army here with some Blizzard to follow up. The Blizzard zoning out the Orc army, and a nice surround almost on the Torrent Chieftain. Torrent Chieftain does get stunned. Can he lock the surround? Then there is a little gap to get out. Torrent Chieftain barely squeezes out and is able to live another day. MK not enough mana to lock it down with another Stormbolt. So there, the Orc is going to be able to slip away as the human army sitting at 54 food is looking very scary. Now need to get some mana on that Mountain King. Do your best to get as many claps and storm bolts off as possible. The Expo has been discovered by Ning and is going to use Blizzard to the best of its capabilities to take care of that burrow. Plenty of mana for another Blizzard soon. And ensnares now onto the back line of the caster line. Torn Sheath trying to get the position for a critical stomp onto the back line. Warstomp was only able to hit 2 units there, so not as potent as you would like. However, Lightning Shield wreaking havoc, but is quickly dispelled. Blizzard now zoning out the Orc player, but a Warstomp able to cancel that immediately. Nice Warstomp there by the Orc player. Ning now hitting level 4 on the Mountain King. Mountain King is getting deadlier by the minute. The grunts are falling quickly. So much damage output from these riflemen. Casters getting into better position here. Torn Chieftain falling quickly, pops the scroll of speed, and decides it's time to get out. Grunts are also falling quickly. Maybe some dispel on these wolves. Wolves are now out, going to start ripping apart the front line of the riflemen. And dispel quickly there. A lot of damage output onto these grunts here. It's so hard to deal with the damage output of these rifles, who are still 0-0. But they still do so much damage as the Mountain King gaining a lot of mana. Able to do a thunderclap, and see ya. All 3 peons there fell, and a Warstomp to return the favor back on the top line of the human army here. Right clicks have begun, and zoning out with the Blizzard. Again, Blizzard, such a seemingly nice choice here. Able to really have some good zone control of these fights, forcing the Orc to constantly move, and the Blizzard is so powerful right now. Going to take down this Expo from sickboyyy. I don't know if it was up long enough to pay for itself. It probably was close to, so maybe netting out even there. But at the same time, certainly a setback for sickboyyy here, as Ning is getting quite the momentum shift in his favor. Archmage level 3, close to level 4. That level 2 Brilliance Aura is going to be really nice for the Mountain King and the Archmage himself for more Blizzards, more Claps, more Storm Bolts. Certainly not something you would scoff at. I mean, this is something the MK will take all day. And some ensnares onto the backline here. Torn Chieftain trying to get in some good position here. Nice stop on 6 units here. Rifles, Priest, and the Mountain King. Torn Chieftain go for a scroll protection. Gonna pop it down. But the Blizzard wreaking so much havoc onto the backline of the Orc player. Look at the Headhunters falling. And a nice War Stomp onto the... Not as potent as you'd like it to there, but still plenty of mana onto the Torn Chieftain. More Blizzard onto the backline of the Orc army as Torn Chieftain trying to get into position for a nice juicy War Stomp, but not enough mana right now. Mountain King has plenty of mana left for one more clap, maybe another Stormbolt. Fill up WC3. Thank you for the follow as sickboyyy calls GG, and we're going to Game 3 as NingZiyun takes Game 2. Really solid performance and comeback from NingZiyun up against sickboyyy there. The Blizzard was just, that was a great retraining from the Archmage. Not sticking with the Water Elemental, not getting stubborn, retraining, adapting to the situation, and it paid off in the end. That Blizzard was destroying the backline of the Orc, really powerful. And with that, we're tied up and we're going to Game 3. All right, I'm going to go grab a glass of water as we wait for our competitors here. They are in the lobby. They're getting ready. I'll be right back. Looks like our players need a little bathroom break and drink break like I do as well. And how's everyone doing tonight? We got 26 viewers. We got a healthy amount of viewers over on Back to Warcraft as well. Checking in on Back to Warcraft. What is going on over there? Looks like Grinchy versus Endo Zero is 0-1 right now in the Diamond Cup Finals. As Echo Isles, I believe, Endo has taken. So a very close matchup over there. 900 viewers strong. Checking out GNL Finals over on Back to Warcraft. Carson, I'm sure, doing an incredible job as always. So thanks again to Carson and the Back to Warcraft team for helping give some visibility to GNL. Tell us what it's all about. Oh, maybe Endo took it 2-0. The stream's lagging, so I can't really see it at the moment, but potentially taking that game 2-0. And maybe having some technical difficulties, unfortunately. Well, it happens. Happens here, too. And we're going to go to Game 3 on Tidehunters. Right, and an incredible game 1 where sickboyyy was able to take it. Now we're going to game 3, immediately following in a very high pressure game 2 where NingZiyun was able to pull it out. And a really great performance there. Able to take this all the way to game 3. We're going to see, looks like much of the same here in Game 1 and Game 2. We're going right into Farseer Headhunters for sickboyyy. And what are we going to see? Our undead player, NingZiyun, this time. Who, as you know, if you've been wondering why Ning is playing a different race every game, he's picked random. So he's going to go random. He's going DK. He seems to be proficient with each race here, so that's very exciting to see someone who's equally skilled in all the races. And Farseer gonna go head across the map, see what's going on. He already knows it's undead. But what he doesn't know is what's the unit composition. He wants to go check it out. Let's go see what's going on.
A player's forces are under attack.
And here we are. sickboyyy has arrived. Yet again. And Ning pulling the creeps back to his own base. Death Knight going to be online very shortly here. Going to have some death coils for that fiend. And gets it healed back up. It probably has enough pressure here to pull the orc back. Going to pull the orc back to its main base, but the orc's not going anywhere. sickboyyy, like a rubber band, just bouncing right back. Is going to continue to put pressure on the Death Knight. Death Knight trying to soak up as much XP from these wolves as he possibly can, getting a little bit there. And does get that death coil off to be able to collect XP from both of the wolves. All right, moving on over now, hopefully uninterrupted, but that's not going to be the case, not with this Farseer Headhunter push. Farseer Headhunter is back again to put pressure on the whole undead army here. And Ning is going to have to be pulled back yet again. Not going to be able to creep out this camp the way he wants to. And now instead, the Farseer is going to take this camp down. And potentially collect the item from the Berserker here. Circle of Nobility instead going to be sniped by the Death Knight. So a nice pickup there to claim the item he originally was trying to get. As the battle continues over these creeps, we now can battle one another as the Death Knight getting into good position now to get some auto attacks on that back line. Getting a good amount of skeletons. And Headhunter's now in a vulnerable position. Death Coil is going to finish the job. And that's a much needed kill from Ning. Moving right up to tier 2, about 60% done, and Tech 2 timings are pretty much dead even, as are the hero experience levels. Both at 1.9, so very even game. In fact, I think the hero bars are exactly the same. Both at 188. This is as even as the game's gonna get. And sickboyyy wants to maybe put some more pressure back on the undead player again. He's coming on back over to the undead side of the map, trying to scope out where the undead player is. And there he is. Bumped right into him. And here we are. Undead has to deal with this again. He's going to try to push this Headhunter army back. But the damage output of the Headhunters, the Death Coils, enough to finally solidify some kills. It's been such a struggle for the undead to get any creeping done, to get anything done. But the coils are helping finally solidify some kills as the Orc is forced to be pushed back and is going to have to look forward to tier 2 now with the Tauren Chieftain coming on next. Going right to tier 3, Lich is coming online right now.
Player's forces are under attack.
And Death Knight wants to take this merchant shop right now. Get ready. Maybe have some nice items for the Lich. The Lich is about to be online. Unfortunately, Wanda Lightning Shield is all that's going to come. And the Sea Turtle Camp is going to go to Ning as the Tauren Chieftain is now out. Name of the game now, get that Tauren Chieftain up to level 3. You need those critical war stomps to deal with that undead backline. Here we are. We do have some opposite harassment of what we saw earlier in the game. Now the undead wants a little piece of some creep jack. And those coils so potent right there, able to just take out a half-health Headhunter. Thank you for the raid back to Warcraft. Hope you guys had a great time over there watching the Adept, Diamond, and Bronze Cup Finals. We are now in the middle of the Platinum Cup Finals. NingZiyun versus sickboyyy 1-1. Settling the score on Tidehunters as Death Knight being pushed back slightly now. Tauren Chieftain and Farseer pushing forward, trying to make some progress, swing the momentum into their direction. Lich now online. Thank you for the follows, everybody. And enjoy a Game 3. Such a nail-biter series between New Blood NingZiyun versus sickboyyy.
A player's forces are under attack.
And here we are. Finally, Undead maybe going to get some breathing room and be able to start creeping without getting constantly harassed by the Farseer Headhunter push. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain doing what it can to get up to level 3. I might go ahead and turn the follower alert sound off if we're going to get such a nice stream of followers, and I really appreciate everybody, but I do also want to keep the sound constant for the game. Really appreciate all the follows, but we got to get back to the action here. Orc is here trying to attack the undead army, push it back, prevent it from creeping.
A player's forces are under attack.
But it's just going to loop around. Going to opt in for the Dark Ranger third. Potentially a nice black arrow. Get some extra skeleton warriors on the field. And again, thank you for all the followers, and thank you again for the raid. Back to Warcraft, Carson. MVP as always. Death Knight being pushed back. Torrent Chieftain so fast with the speed scroll. Only able to lock down one fiend right there. And not enough to get it down to critical levels, and a long-range coil across the whole map almost to get that get that fiend healed up to full. And the Death Knight needs to be careful. Almost got surrounded there by the party of headhunters, now turned berserker. As the undead army moving back into the undead base, trying to get safe. Lockdown from the orc player, trying to lock down these fiends. No mana left for coils, so the undead's in a little bit of trouble here. 2 statues. The raiders are definitely going to be trying to target those once they're online. And they are on the way. Death Knight able to push it back just enough, and the fiends, Lich, Dark Ranger combo able to push the orc back home. As the orc needs to pivot into some more raiders. Get some lockdowns on those units.
A player's forces are under attack.
All right, and the undead just gonna camp out right outside the base. Stick within close proximity. Unfortunately got bouldered by the golem there. And got slowed as well. Lich in a slightly compromised position and will get ensnared. DK needs to get a nice coil on it immediately and does. Lich is able to back up slightly, and a nice war stop onto the back line of the Fiends. Death Knight going to town on a Raider will take it down with a Frost Nova to help out, and some Black Arrows for some Skeletons to help out. Also have the Wolves online, maybe some Devourers coming soon, as the Headhunters going to town on the remainder of this army. Auto-attacking the Death Knight. Death Knight falling quickly down to 40% health now. Death Knight closely getting to critical levels. No War Stomps available for the Torrent Chieftain, so need to be careful. Invuln pot popped for the Death Knight. Death Knight getting into better position now. Torrent Chieftain falling quickly, only with 26 health. One more hit from any hero, and that hero is as good as dead. Torrent Chieftain now getting into the danger zone again, coming back into the battle, getting Black Arrow to the face by the Dark Ranger, but not enough. Lich pulls back slightly and is falling quickly. Not enough mana for a Death Coil to the Lich. Lich does fall due to the focus fire of Sickboyyy. Death Knight pulling back now. Farseer and the Orc army pushing forward. It is just enough to win this battle. But will he win the war? There's still so much left to be played. 55 food for the undead player. And thank you back to Warcraft. Yeah, loving the casting, loving any opportunity I get, so would love to keep it going. And even though he had the smaller army, was able to push off the undead army. Got a critical kill on the Lich. Lich had to be rebought, and that's going to set the undead army back quite a bit. Ning, however, he probably feels like he's ahead in food count, and he probably wants to press this forward, going to target that Raider down, wants to prevent any more ensnares from happening. The Torrent Chief is still only level 1. Those War Stops are only going to be so powerful, and a burrowed Crypt Fiend at 48 health. Very nice burrow there, and the Death Knight wants to solidify that kill, does get it on the Headhunter. Scroll speed popped. Orc is going to race back home, buy some Clarity Potions to get into better position to take on this fight. Death Knight falling quickly due to the focus fire of all of the auto attacks of the Headhunters, and the Torrent Chieftain constantly following it back, followed by a Chain Lightning. Torrent Chieftain getting Nova'd, falling really quickly, falling down to critical levels, and does fall. Invuln pot popped by the Death Knight. Death Knight now in good position to get another coil, offensive coil off onto the Headhunters, but needs to watch out. He's falling so low, 96 health. One more Chain Lightning could spell the end of the Death Knight. The Farseer trying to get back there and get it, and the Death Coil isn't even necessary. GG is called as Ning takes Game 3 and the series. Your Platinum Cup winner of GNL, NingZiyun.